Hello and welcome to the Weekly Stuff Podcast with Jonathan Lack.
And Sean Chapman.
As always, we are here to talk about stuff. This will be a shorter episode today because last week's episode was pretty late in the week, so we caught up on everything of import.
Yes.
I feel like. So
well, everything of import to us, Jonathan.
Yeah. Let's recap really quick. Last time we talked about Destiny.
Yes.
We talked about Minecraft shenanigans.
Yes.
And we talked about a big episode of Doctor Who. Listen. This week, we're basically going to be talking about the latest episode of Doctor Who, Time Heist.
Yes.
So we've got that to talk about. And then maybe just some odds and ends at the beginning, but it'll be a pretty quick show.
Yeah.
So, yes. I guess I would start with Sean. Any extra thoughts you would have on Destiny since the last time we talked about it?
No, I'm still playing it and really liking it.
Yeah.
I'm deep into the grind. But
nice. Okay.
It's fun. Yeah. It's a nice game that I enjoy just being able to... Because I'm not, playing it really heavily, but I'll just, once or twice a day, just, put in an hour or two and just sort of, do a couple of patrol missions or something like that. Finish a bounty or do a couple of raids and just, I think if you played it a whole lot and marathoned it when you're in the section of the game that I'm in now, you'd get really frustrated because of how sort of infrequent gear drops become.
Yeah, you would get frustrated.
But, if you're only playing it for a couple of hours every day, it becomes hey, by the end of the week, I'll have gotten I will have replaced at least 3 pieces of gear. Over the course of one day, you're not going to probably see any change in your character. If you started the game with a new character, and then you played all day long, your character would have changed completely 5 or 6 times over the course of that day. Where the point you're at now, that's just not going to happen. So you can't look to that to be your fix. It's a slower, longer process.
Yeah, I played a bunch of it this weekend because I finished a piece of a big project I'm doing on Friday, so then I kind of went into video game coma mode on Saturday and today and played a lot of Destiny, and definitely I think the stat Bungie released this morning that the average playtime of Destiny once you sign on is 3 hours and 4 on the weekends. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I've had fun with it. I think a lot of the end game grind stuff is kind of annoying, but I've had a lot of fun. I finally went into the strike playlist more heavily, and I was able to play on the level 24 strikes finally. And as I said last time, Destiny to me is absolutely at its most fun when it is hard. Yeah. And those strikes are hard at that point, and I'm really loving them. Although you were telling me, there's no level 26 strike playlist.
Yeah.
And that worries me a little bit because I'm not going to keep coming back to Destiny if there's not a challenge for me to do. So that's a little disappointing. But there's always the Crucible for that, I guess.
Yes.
That's always a challenge.
Yeah, I still haven't really delved into that too deeply.
Yeah, and I just got my first piece of legendary gear before we recorded this podcast.
Congratulations. Ghost Angel chest piece.
Jumped me up a whole level, so I was happy. That was nice. Finally good to see some purple on there.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it for Destiny stuff. Any other odds and ends, Sean? What have you been up to?
Nothing. I mean, we only recorded the last podcast 3 days ago, so yeah. What about you, Jonathan?
Well, I wanted to talk about, the day after we recorded our last podcast, the Super Smash Bros. Demo for Nintendo 3DS came out to the general public.
I think you mean the Super Smash Bros. For 3DS demo.
For
on
3DS.
The Nintendo DS, yeah 3DS.
Yes, so the demo for Smash Bros. 3DS came out on Friday. It had come out the week before for members of Club Nintendo Platinum, which I think a couple years ago I was a Club Nintendo Platinum member. And
is that one of the things that when the DS... Was it which one? No, it was the 3DS launched, and then they dropped the price or whatever to sort of save it, and then they gave everybody all this shit. Was that one of those things?
Through Club Nintendo, or
didn't they give some sort of membership?
No, they gave you
something.
No. It's Club Nintendo Platinum just means that you've bought Nintendo products and registered them. It's that kind of thing. And you can get rewards and stuff. So, I use it because you can get downloads for eShop stuff. You can get cheap NES and Game Boy games they'll give away on that, which is nice to get those.
Yeah.
So what they did when the 3DS came out and they dropped the price, they enrolled you in their ambassador program.
That's what I was thinking of.
But
program.
That's not related to Club Nintendo, and the ambassador program really just meant they gave you 20 free games. So they gave you 10 GBA games and 10 NES games on the 3DS, some of which I still play pretty regularly on the 3DS. So that was a nice deal. But most of those GBA games have not come out for the 3DS, although they have started coming out for the Wii U because nothing about Nintendo makes sense.
Because you want to play your portable games on your couch with your Wii U instead of playing them on the go on your 3DS, Jonathan.
And I'm not sure about this because I haven't bought any of that kind of stuff on my Wii U because I'm not stupid.
Yes.
But, like, I think they also only play on the gamepad. Like, the GBA games, I don't think you can play them on your TV.
I mean... At the end of the day, would you want to actually play it on your TV? Like
more than on the gamepad, yes.
But it would be scaled up so much. Like the pixels would be the size of your fucking head, man. Like,
they would, but like
it would look so bad. I'd rather have it on a lower resolution monitor.
Yeah, but it's a lower resolution monitor that you can use within a 10x10 area of your console, so it makes no sense.
I mean, you'd be at your console anyways. Like it makes no sense from any perspective. But if you're going to fucking have it on the Wii U, I would probably choose to play it on the gamepad than on the TV anyways, just so I don't have to hurt my eyes staring at like these super sharp blocky pixels all the time.
Well, it doesn't matter because, like I said, I have them on 3DS, which is where God intended you to play those games.
I thought God intended you to play them on the Game Boy Advance, which is how I did it. The Game Boy Advance SP, not the original. The original one is kind of a piece of shit in retrospect.
Yes, the SP, great system. Yes. So, anyway, 3DS, also a pretty good system, and I wanted to talk about the Smash Bros. 3DS demo that came out.
Right, yes.
That's what I was talking about. I said this on Twitter a couple times. I'm really amazed with how much fun I'm having with this tiny demo. I mean, this is a demo, not like we're going to give you a bunch of the game kind of demo, which I think is more in vogue these days. This is like the kind of demo you would get, back in the day where it's barely anything. So this is 5 characters and 1 stage... and no customization, so you can only play 2-minute, normal Smash modes. You can't do
do you have to do time limit? You can't do stock?
No.
Why would you? That is some like devilish bullshit.
You can in the full game.
No, but like in the demo, like who would ever play Smash Brothers the time mode? That's just a bad human being. Like I never understood why as soon as it went to Melee, like they defaulted to the 2-minute time limit. Who fucking plays Smash Brothers like that? That's madness. Everyone does fucking stock. Like 5 or 10 stock. That's the only way to play Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I usually turn it to stock too, but it's fine. It's just...
No, it's not usually. It's not fine. It's madness is
Sean,
what it is.
It's the demo, for fuck's sake.
Who would... Like, I would not want to taint my experience with it by playing some stupid fucking time limit mode.
Okay. I like the demo. I feel like I should probably just shut up about it because you're going to not let me talk about it.
Yeah, well, 2-minute time limit is bullshit.
Okay. It's the demo!
Well, it's a bad demo then, if it gives you the worst fucking Smash Brothers mode. It demonstrates that Nintendo doesn't understand, and has never really understood that stock is the only way to play Smash Brothers. They shouldn't even put in the time mode.
The time mode is fine, stock is better.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's a really fun demo. It's got, the 5 characters, it's got... Part of why I have fun with the demo is because the 3 returning characters that are in the demo are the 3 characters I probably most often play as in Smash Bros. Mario, Pikachu, and Link. They play like they did before. I'm a little disappointed they did not fix Mario.
Does he still have the FLUDD move?
Yeah.
Oh, so.
It's dumb. It's a better version of the FLUDD move.
Okay.
It's easier to use. I think its range is bigger, and it's easier to execute his previous down B move, the spinning fists move. Or at least it felt easier for me to activate it. So there's that. But, Link is as good as ever. Pikachu's as good as ever. Yeah. So that's fun. And the 2 new characters are Mega Man, who has to go down in history as one of the weirdest Smash Bros. Characters because he can't hit people. Like, he doesn't use his fists or a weapon or anything. He just shoots from his hands, like Mega Man obviously does in Mega Man games.
Yes.
But it's a little weird because Mega Man, he's kind of useless unless you get an item in his hands, like a beam sword or something. Yeah. Then he can actually hit people. Otherwise, he's got this little, flaccid gun that just shoots these little pellets.
I believe it's called a Mega Buster, Jonathan. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. The Mega Buster, indeed. But, so he's still a really cool character, though. He definitely, his jump is exactly Mega Man's jump.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So he's fun to play as. And then the pleasant surprise of the demo for me was the villager from Animal Crossing, which sounded like a pretty dumb idea.
I mean, that's just Animal Crossing. I don't have any problem with having an Animal Crossing in Smash Brothers. It's Animal Crossing itself that's a dumb idea.
I like Animal Crossing, but this sounded a little silly because I didn't know how Villager was going to fight. But Villager fights in cool ways. He just punches people, which I think is kind of funny. But then other than that, he's got some fun moves. His over B, I think, is he'll shoot out, the little gyroid thing that stands at your house in Animal Crossing. He'll, ride it across the screen and hit people. So there's that. His grab move is he just gets the bug catching net out and nets you. So that's fun. I haven't seen all of it. I have not seen his final smash yet. I saw everyone else's, but Mega Man has a cool final smash.
Probably just becomes worthless and you have to just stop playing for the day because there's just nothing left to do. You have to like wait for a holiday to do anything meaningful with them. That's probably a Final Smash.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, the Final Smash from Mega Man is really cool because he like brings in all the other Mega Man characters.
Nice.
And they just, destroy people. So that's fun. Yeah, so the new characters are fun. The stage is just a very kind of basic Smash Brothers stage, just a kind of, platform in the sky.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's got, good music. The menus have really fun music. And it's just been fun to play. I don't know what it is. Like, it's very fast and fluid. It doesn't feel as sluggish as Brawl could in some ways, nor as kind of overcrowded as Brawl could in some ways. Brawl was kind of a weird contradiction of a game.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah,
my biggest problem with Brawl was that like the character roster just became unbalanced in not fun ways with a lot of the characters, and like a lot of the characters like Snake, you just kind of had to play cheap or you wouldn't really work. If you're talking about weird Smash Brothers characters, Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Strange choice to have a Smash Brothers character who's like up B movies. He like pulled out a fucking UAV drone and rode it up into the sky.
Right. Yeah, I feel like, and I obviously have not played the full game yet, but from what I've heard and from what I'm looking at the roster on the demo, this looks like a much more balanced roster. It's not just, like, it's not completely weirdly overpopulated. They've cut down on, no franchise feels like they've got just everybody in there. They've pared everything down a little bit. There's more franchises represented, and then the characters I'm seeing just feel like, like you just have Charizard instead of Pokemon Trainer, who had 3 Pokemon.
Right, yeah.
And was
Pokemon
weird.
Trainer was a weird character.
Yeah. He was very weird. So, it looks like a good roster. That's something I should say about the demo that's hilarious, is that you go into it, and you can see the full menu system of Smash Bros. 3DS. I think some things are hidden, like you can't go into the online menu or some of those things, but you can, like, see all the stuff that's going to be there. It's just all, like, blacked out.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of funny. But yeah, it's just been really fun to play. Like, I just keep going in and I'll play a match, and then I'll want to play another match, and I'll kind of cycle through the 5 characters and just fight with some computer players, and it's really fun. The biggest praise I can give it is that for the 3DS, it controls phenomenally well. I did not really think Smash Bros. Was going to control that well on 3DS, but it's really fun to play. It feels very precise. The circle pad feels like it works very well for it. While at the same time, I can understand how if you're like really super into it, you might tear that circle pad off, as some people in Japan have been doing. Yeah. So we will see about that. But hey, my 3DS is not long for this world anyway, because the new Nintendo 3DS is coming out, and that looks really
retroactively cool. Makes your Nintendo 3DS the old Nintendo 3DS.
Indeed. I kind of want to take a Sharpie and write old on it. With some stars around it, like if you look at the new 3DS, it's got the logo is new, has stars around it.
Yeah, it's just like putting like some like just withered husks, like some like brown dwarf stars, and they're just like, oh no.
Yeah,
and they're just like it's all the fucking core is all iron now, and you just can't fuse and get energy. Yeah, it's all bad.
Well, and speaking of the new Nintendo 3DS, for instance, one of the features on Smash Bros. That is actually pretty cool is the 3D effect looks cool in the game. It's kind of fun. A lot of the like items and stuff, they do some fun 3D things with it.
Cool.
When the Nintendog comes out at the screen, he like really like comes out of the screen,
and then he literally comes out of the screen and mauls you.
Right.
Yeah.
Nintendogs has gotten a lot more adult, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's intense.
It's intense. Yes. Yeah. But the thing is with Smash Bros. It is the kind of game where I wind up moving the console a lot while I'm playing, so I usually just have to snap the 3DS or the 3D off, because if I move the 3DS, the 3D goes away.
Yeah.
So, but what I've heard about the new Nintendo 3DS is that won't happen anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and people have actually used the system and confirmed that Nintendo was not lying about that, which is good. Good. Nintendo's not just falsely advertising stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a really fun demo. I look forward to playing the full game. It comes out October 3rd. I'm really psyched about it. Like, before, I had a curiosity about it, because I am a really big Smash Brothers fan. I've always loved those games. I've sunk a lot of time into those games with my brother, just, playing together on the couch and whatnot. And I was definitely going to get the 3DS version when it came out, just because I'm really curious about it and wanted to continue with the series. But now I've actually played some of it, and I think it's really great, and I'm excited to play more. And I was just thinking, like, even if the full game was just, having the modes that's in the demo and just going through and trying all these characters, that would be fun. And in the full game, I can switch to stock. So,
yes, it'll be even more fun. Play an actual fucking mode, goddammit.
Yes. And, like, there's going to be all that. There's going to be this Smash Run mode that I actually think sounds pretty cool. Where it's like, it's a single-player mode where you kind of go through... It's actually inspired by something from Kirby Air Ride. Did you ever play that on the GameCube?
No, I know what it is, though.
Yeah, it's a really fun little game that the creator of Smash Bros. Made after Melee. And Kirby Air Ride had this single-player mode where you kind of went through and kind of did challenges in these sort of open environments and stuff. That's what Smash Run is going to be like, where you kind of go through and fight enemies and get items, and I guess there's going to be stat boosts and things like that, too. So, and like objectives to do. So that sounds cool.
Disappointed that there's not going to be Subspace Emissary 2. It's a hot sequel to the story mode that's like, I need to know what happens, you know?
Right. Subspace Emissary is one of the most surreal things Nintendo has ever released.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
very
weird single-player mode.
Yes. The one thing I will say is a complaint about Smash Bros. 3DS, and probably a warning for people who have not played it yet. This game would be unplayable on the original 3DS with the smaller screens. Because the way Smash Bros. Works, obviously, is that you have a full stage, you're in full view of the stage at most times.
Yeah.
And it's zoomed out, and on a smaller screen that can be tough. With 2 or 3 players on screen on the 3DS version, it's not a problem at all. When you go to, you've got 4 people in it, fully populated. It's a little too zoomed out for my taste, but on the XL with the bigger 3DS screen, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I feel like it would be unplayable on the smaller
especially
3DS.
like. Would you say that the stage you're given is a large Smash Brothers stage or like a medium?
Medium.
Okay, yeah.
Medium.
Because some of those Smash Brothers stages, like I'm thinking particularly Melee, the Zelda one, was pretty wide. Like, so
yes.
Yeah, if you had like a character on the far left end of the map and a character on the far right end of the map, like that thing zoomed out really far. So I can imagine if you had a map of that sort of width, that could be pretty unmanageable.
Yeah, and just looking through the stage roster on the demo screen, I don't know because I actually haven't played these stages, but none of them looked like they were that big, which would be a good choice for the 3DS.
Sure, yeah.
And I know there are stages that are going to be unique to maybe the 3DS and the Wii U, and my hope would be that they picked ones that will work on the small screen, and then for Wii U will work on the big screen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So, anyway, that's Smash Bros. 3DS. Talk about that more when it actually comes out, but if we don't have anything else to talk about, why don't we go ahead and talk about Doctor Who?
Yes. Time Heist.
Okay, so Sean, Time Heist, Episode 5, Season 8, or 35, or whatever the fuck we're on. 34? 34.
I think 34, yeah.
Yeah, because 33, 11, 5, 50.
Yes.
That's how I remember that. Anyway, let's see. So, last week was Listen. Really great episode with kind of wonky ending.
Yeah, weird ending, yeah.
Time Heist. What did you think?
I really liked it. I thought it was it's not a perfect episode, but I think it's a really solid one. Like, there was no part in the episode that I could, pick out as being, especially bad. There are some things, I think, maybe not even a huge complaint, but I wish the side characters had more time to develop because I thought they were interesting characters and some of their character development stuff just had to be shoot in to sort of fit within the time requirement. But yeah, I thought it was, we kind of at the end of the last podcast said that sometimes when Doctor Who tries to do genre stuff, even though it should work because the premise of the show allows it to go there, a lot of the times writers don't necessarily know how to do it elegantly, and I thought this was a great example of taking a heist genre premise and making it a Doctor Who episode, and I really enjoyed the episode for that reason.
Absolutely, I agree with that part. I think that's what the episode does well. Doctor Who can be anything, and this week it did something different, and it did that successfully. It felt both like a heist story and a Doctor Who story.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like one was being sacrificed in service of the other, which I think is what usually would happen when you get these. You'll get another Stephen Thompson episode, the pirate one, which doesn't feel particularly piratey and doesn't feel particularly Doctor Who-y.
Yeah,
it just is kind of
I mean, it feels like, that one just feels like an episode of Classic Who that just, for the life of you can't remember, It's just
right.
There was something with some weird, nurse android, and that's kind of as far as you can remember.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a different episode for a minute. I forgot that was part of the pirate thing. That's one of the ones where Rory dies.
Because the only part of that episode that I kind of remember is the vague sci-fi part of it, and the pirate part I don't even...
Yeah. It is one of the mini episodes that season where Rory dies. I forgot.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Because he has to, resuscitate him at the end,
Yeah. All right, well, anyway... Yeah, so I agree with you on that part. I don't think I liked this one as much as you did. I kind of felt the actual narrative mechanics of it I rolled my eyes at every single minute of the episode at a certain point. I just thought a lot of the narrative mechanics were very silly. It kind of felt a lot of it was very reverse engineered. We're going to come up with an awesome, crazy part of this bank that's totally impenetrable, and they will have the exact right gadget to get through it. And I understand how that makes narrative sense by the end when, it's the Doctor is the architect, so he knew everything beforehand. But just from the minute-to-minute kind of minutia of it, I thought a lot of it was very silly and didn't particularly make sense. There were a lot of times when I thought they kind of just broke rules they had established, but it's fine. Like, it's... Doctor Who does that sometimes with narrative things.
Sure. Like, what? Can you think of any specific examples with the broke rules thing?
I just feel like they set up stuff with the teller that never quite paid off. Like I don't know. Like, near the end, like, I didn't... The last couple minutes were gibberish, I thought. Like, where the teller comes out and the doctor... Like, how is the teller resurrecting the doctor's memories, and then how does it not turn his brain into soup? And
I mean, because before he has to do that, he like scans through their memories. Because I thought like that was kind of the same thing he did to the shapeshifty lady. I think is kind of when he realized that that's how that mechanically worked, because he saw it like the start of the process and realized that's what he's doing. Is he's sort of scanning the whole mind to find out whether or not they're guilty, and then after that, he just sort of like destroys them mentally.
Yeah,
and obviously, like the doctor is. You know, he's like thousands of years old, and so he's a little bit harder to just soup.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with that stuff of the episode. The part of the episode's plot that I thought was the weakest is I think they telegraphed... This is spoilers, but whatever. They telegraphed the big twist of the episode that the doctor's the architect. Like, I figured that out in like 5 minutes. I felt like that.
Yeah, no, there was never a second where that was in doubt. But that's okay. Like, that didn't bother me because that's just... Of course it was.
Yeah, but I felt like they could have done a little bit better job of hiding it instead of it feeling like... Because I felt like when I figured it out, it was like, yeah. Instead of being like, hey, I kind of figured out what the plot twist was, it was like, yeah, of course this is the plot twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course that is the plot twist, you know. Some of the stuff with the... I mean, there was a lot of things that were just because this is one of the, 45-minute, heavily plotted episodes of Doctor Who, it moves very fast, and some things you just kind of have to go with and not think too deeply about, but like, there was the whole thing with what's the Carabraxis, Madame Carabraxis.
Yeah.
And at the end, just there were things where it just, maybe it would have felt less silly or off the map to me if they had had more time to work with it. But, all the stuff about her clones, and then we get into the thing where she's evil, but then the doctor's like, you're going to regret it one day, and then, she ends up regretting it one day, and it's fine, but it just, none of the plot, like, wowed me in any way, but that's fine. I think what the episode did well is that for one, it was fantastically directed.
Yeah,
Douglas
definitely.
McKinnon, between this week and last week, he also directed Listen. Mm-hmm. He should direct more Doctor Who.
Yeah.
These are really well done episodes, and I think it moved at a good pace. It felt like they kind of got the characteristics of a heist movie down.
Yeah.
They had good character dynamics throughout. Like, I was a little worried when the episode started that, these side characters are just going to be the kinds of side characters we never think about again. But I thought they actually did a pretty good job with them over the course of the episode. They didn't play... like the people in Into the Dalek, where they just don't matter at all.
Yeah, like they were definitely recognizable characters, and that and that was like part of my complaint is like I wish that this episode had gotten the extra time that Deep Breath had, like because I feel like this. Well, one of the advantages of this episode is that it moves at a really nice pace. I thought like they created these two really interesting other characters to be with you on the heist, and felt like kind of a shame that like for both of them, especially for the robot dude. Like, he has that speech, or, like, where he talks to Clara to sort of, like, give his backstory. And it was, like, that scene was so inelegant because it felt like they just had to get it in there to, like, fit in the time that he just kind of sits down and is like, yeah, so I was in prison and they interrogated me and I had to delete my family. And it was, like, such an unprompted sort of conversation to have that it kind of felt like me that it came out of nowhere. And it's, like, a cool backstory for that character. And I thought the character was cool. I just wish, like, they had the time to sort of, like, flesh that out more naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been good. But yeah, no, overall it played really well, and I think my favorite thing about the episode personally was that it was, and I think they've done a very good job of this season, where every episode has kind of given us another shading of the 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, we get to know him better in clear ways every week, not just because there's a generic Doctor Who story. This one was very much putting him in the kind of hero role he really hasn't had so far this season. Like, if you think of the 4 episodes before this, it's like in Listen, him kind of off doing his own thing, or in Into the Dalek, him testing his own hypothesis about the Daleks, or in Robin Hood, it's him kind of following along on Clara's adventure, but not really doing his own thing.
Yeah.
In this, it's, if we rearrange the chronology of the episode, it's he gets this call about this, wounded animal and this dying species, and he decides he's going to go, do whatever it takes to save the day and save the species. Yeah. And that's totally something the Doctor would do across any incarnation. And it was nice to see this Doctor finally do something like that but with a very specific 12th Doctor twist where he's going to be the hero and do the right thing, but he's going to be a curmudgeon about it. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be an asshole about it to the people who help him out.
And he's going to just come up with the most convoluted ass fucking way to try to get this to work, which is fine, because it's like, heist movies, that's sort of their bread and butter, is that there are definitely easier ways to go about this than the way they do it, but the way they do it's just a lot cooler.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says the whole thing about, we couldn't just bring... Why didn't we just bring the TARDIS in here? We could have gone anywhere in the bank with the TARDIS. And then later he says, we had to do it in the storm, and that's why we couldn't bring the TARDIS. And those two things kind of contradict each other hugely, but...
Yeah, kind
whatever.
of, yeah. I'm fine with that. Like, they come up with rules for how to avoid... It's been a while since we've had an episode where they're like... Where the episode could just be solved with the TARDIS, and so they have to come up with an excuse. This is one of the better excuses. Just like, yeah, okay, sure, solar interference... Usually the Doctor can't land the TARDIS reliably anyways, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a Doctor Who staple, is most, problems could be solved with the TARDIS, but you can't, because those would be really short episodes. Doctor Who would have to become like a web series. Mm-hmm. It'd be really boring.
Yeah, really boring. He just gets a call. It's like, Doctor, I have some regrets. Okay, just a second. Just lands there, grabs the teller and leaves.
Yeah.
Done. 3 minutes. Or, negative a million minutes. I don't even know how time travel works.
No, but it was definitely good. I mean, this is, in some ways, the most prominent Capaldi has been in one of these episodes. Yeah. And he's just so good.
Yeah, it definitely felt like most of these episodes have been more from, another character's point of view, usually Clara's, whereas this one is definitely, the Doctor's front and center. He's the one leading the group for basically the whole episode. So, yeah, he definitely has I feel like the episode follows his point of view more than any other characters.
And I really do think there is this kind of puzzle piece mentality in the way they've put this season together, where with every episode, it just fills in more of who this character is and is going to be.
Yeah.
Until really with this episode, this was the one in the season so far where throughout the episode when I was, looking at Peter Capaldi and watching him act, there was no more separation between this is the new Doctor or this is a different kind of Doctor. He was just the Doctor to me this week. And that felt like that was really cool, because that this is the point, definitely. And there's a different point with every Doctor where you just get to that moment of accepting them, and other versions are out of your head and you're just in with it. And I'm not criticizing other episodes for that. He's been building up to this, but I definitely, throughout this episode, it was just, there was no separation there for me anymore. And I really liked that. He's come into his own really fast. So that's been good. Again, the costume looked really good this week.
Yeah, it fits in naturally.
Yeah. He can walk into a bank with it and not look just completely out of place.
Yeah, some Doctors would not be able to accomplish that.
No. Colin Baker would not be able to rob a bank, because he would walk in and they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? Take that Technicolor Dreamcoat off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But...
Colin Baker couldn't go a lot of places with that coat he wears, unfortunately.
No, but while we're talking about costumes...
Yes.
I do have to say... All the odd-numbered episodes this season have kept up the thing of putting Clara in kind of a funny costume.
Yeah, because she has her, weird, Blue Brothers suit on this episode.
Yeah. So, I guess that's just going to be a theme. Every odd-numbered episode, Clara will have...
It, sure, yeah. Eventually they'll just have to, she'll just spend the whole episode in, a suit of knight's armor or something, and they'll just start running out of ideas.
That would be great if, I don't know, Clara somehow sticks around for 4 seasons.
Yeah, they keep on doing it. It's this week she's in a race suit or something. I don't know.
This week is the Doctor Who Saturday Night Fever homage to she's in 70s disco gear.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the episode where John Travolta guest stars on Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's this week we go back to caveman times, so she's dressed like Leela.
Would the Doctor, would he remember Leela enough for that to be
Yes.
Okay.
Of course he would remember Leela. Probably. I remember Leela, so he should.
I just wonder if the Doctor remembers his companions, if they're that old.
I mean, some of them, some of those, latter-day First Doctor companions, probably not so much. Ben and Polly,
Yeah.
Don't really need to remember them. Dodo.
Yeah. Does he think about Perry at all?
I mean, how could you not?
Alright, so...
That voice probably still haunts his dreams.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I think it speaks to how well they've done with Clara this season so far, that she can return to a ultra-traditional companion role in this episode.
Yeah.
Where she's not just kind of the person helping out, but she's also the one who bonds with the other characters and, cheers them on and is really sad when they die and all that stuff. And yet, she doesn't feel generic anymore.
Yeah, she feels like Clara. And she does have, I feel like she does go about this episode, even though she has a companion role, in a different way than the other companions would, and she feels distinct to me. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's not like that. The last half of Matt Smith's last season, where she was just like, "This could be anybody." Like, you could just fucking put Sarah Jane here, and
you could put Leela in all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you could just have Leela. Well, no, because then Leela would just try to kill everybody with her weird poison darts. So,
oh man, now I'm imagining the 11th Doctor with Leela. That would be awesome. That would be amazing.
That'd be a good combo.
You can't think too deeply about Doctor Who combinations because then you just get sad that we'll never get to see them.
Yeah. God, dude. 12 and Jamie. They're made for each other in a weird way.
They could bond. It's like, you're Scottish finally, Doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great. By the way, speaking of like second Doctor era stuff, you heard that Patrick Troughton's son is going to be in the Christmas special this year?
Troughton? No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, they announced some casting for the Christmas special, and he's going to be in it.
Nice.
So that's neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to mention that. But yes, what else is there to talk about with Time Heist?
I thought the Teller was a cool monster. Like, I thought I think a lot of this also to the really great direction is that the monster commanded a lot of presence on screen whenever he came on. Like, they just did a good job, like, making him feel, like, weighty and tremendous, like... Especially because his introductory scene, he, like, fucking melts half a dude's head. That makes you kind of scary in a weird way. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's something worth talking about with Time Heist, is that it has a lot of very dark ideas in it.
Yeah.
And it gets very heavy in the middle where two people have died, and the Teller is coming for Doctor and Clara now.
Yeah.
And it almost to me got to a point where it was feeling too much like that terrible Titanic episode where they did a disaster movie and everyone
Voyage
died.
of the Damned?
Yeah. I hate that episode because it feels totally...
I mean, Voyage of the Damned is like other than Gunslingers, is like the staple child for like Doctor Who trying to do genre and just fucking it up.
Right.
Fucking it up awful in that episode, yeah.
And that's what I was a little worried about. But I thought they definitely, with the last half where the characters come back and kind of, it never gets too dark. Like, it lets the darkness be there, but then it ultimately still feels like Doctor Who, which I think at a certain point can't be a disaster show.
Sure, yeah.
And so I think it worked in the end. And that, ultimately they weren't robbing a bank, they were trying to save a species, so you get to feel good about it at the end. It would have been really funny if the ultimate goal was that the Doctor just wanted some petty cash.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what I was thinking, like, at the end of the episode, after everyone leaves the TARDIS, it's like the Doctor should just turn around and, like, take out his wallet, and it's just, like, this comically massive wallet. He has, like, just these, like, you look in the corner, there's just, like, bags of gold with, like, the $sign on it and shit.
No, what it would be is it would cut to, like, Clara would leave the TARDIS, and he'd say, beat that for a date. Yeah. And then it would pan over and show the gold in the corner. And then it would do that heist movie thing of going back to show how all of this was a trick.
Yeah. And then it's like in like the corner of every scene that the Doctor was not prominently featured, he's just like picking up a bag of money and just like stuffing it in his coat pocket somehow.
Yeah. While everyone is distracted by the Teller that he's rescuing in the last scene, he's going deeper into that vault, and there's a whole thing of gold. Yeah. Like, behind where the female Teller was sitting, there's another vault door.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been really great.
Or even better than that, it's like after Clara leaves, he goes up the stairs, like, opens a door to a TARDIS room, and it's just the Scrooge McDuck gold vault, and he just jumps into this pile of gold coins and swims in it. And that's the end of the episode. And then that's the end of Doctor Who, because he just takes that money and runs and, buys a nice, like, vacation house in Miami or something. Never hear from him again.
I think the Doctor and Scrooge McDuck would also get along well.
Yeah.
This Doctor, at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh boy, we haven't talked about the best moment of the episode.
What's the best moment of the episode, Jonathan?
It's his shut up thing with everyone, and he finally ends up shouting, "Shuttity up, up, up." Yeah. And it's an inch away from Malcolm Tucker going "fuckity bye" or something from the thick of it. And if somehow they can work in a full Malcolm Tucker like onslaught by the end of this season, I will know I have died and gone to heaven, and none of this was real. But that was pretty perfect.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried that they're going to make "shut up" his catchphrase.
No,
but that's better than Geronimo, I guess.
Yeah, or what was he said like 5 times in Deep Breath? Oh, like, that's not the question. This is the question. She said that like 5 fucking times in that episode. It's like, don't let this be a catchphrase.
It's not a catchphrase.
It's so obnoxious. Yeah,
luckily it's not.
It hasn't come up again. God, dude, Geronimo was so sad. Like, that was like this weird like down note to one of the most triumphant seasons the show has had. Is this like sad, just like why the fuck do you need to give him a catchphrase? And Geronimo's like the worst. Alonzi is charming but a little obnoxious. Geronimo's just ridiculously obnoxious.
Yeah, at least Alonzi has one really great moment in the 10th Doctor's history in his last episode when he says it as he's like...
Yeah, and it's also like the 10th Doctor, he didn't just start out with it, it's like it kind of just gradually developed over time and felt a little natural to him.
No, the 11th Doctor's like second line.
Yeah, like they shoehorned that into like his first scene when he gets regenerated into.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like yells out Geronimo, and then they fucking try to work it in so much. So fucking stupid.
They went like 2 seasons worth of 11th Doctor's episodes without it, and so when they started bringing it back in some episodes, it was weird, but whatever.
Thank God they have gotten away from catchphrases with him.
Yeah. But shut up is always fun to hear Peter Capaldi say.
Yeah.
So that was a good scene. And then the unshut up, he says, that was just a
fun it's a very because, it's like the classic Doctor Who climax scene is the Doctor having this big speech where he's putting everything together. And this was a really good version of that felt different, because he does. It's again the 12th Doctor has this really refreshingly abrasive part of his personality that makes him a lot of fun to watch.
What I think is fun also is that it's something knocked a screw loose in his regeneration, and that screw's not coming back. Yeah. So that's why he has to, tell people to shut up when they're not talking. Yeah. And he's always a little off. That's become fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, even while he has clearly become one of the most piercingly intelligent doctors. Yeah, yeah. In terms of he's always a step ahead.
Yeah, he's extremely capable, kind of like in the way the Colin Baker Doctor was.
Yeah,
just knows his shit.
Yep.
He can fly, this Doctor can fly the fucking TARDIS, because he has, so far consistently over these past 5 episodes, he's landed, exactly where he's wanted to be every time. He's, they haven't played the dumb joke of, him landing, a month later and Clara being late for a date,
Right.
He landed in Glasgow on accident, but was that really on accident in Deep Breath?
No.
Probably not, yeah, exactly.
Well, he was also still in the post-regenerative haze.
But even then, I think he did that on purpose, because he wanted to be in Glasgow.
Who wouldn't want to be?
Exactly.
He wanted to go vote in the Scottish independence movement.
Yeah. You should go back in time and fix it.
That would be great if, Stephen Moffat was really bitter about that and decided to write an episode.
He was really pro, remove ourselves from the United Kingdom. Yeah. Yeah, fucking do it. I'd be all for that episode.
That's what the Christmas special is about.
Yeah. It's God damn it, if Scotland's not going to secede from the United Kingdom, Doctor Who is...
That'd be weird, because the BBC would still have to air it.
Yeah.
And that'd be very awkward.
No, he just turns Doctor Who into, a pirate radio show. It just goes out on the fucking high seas and broadcasts to the world.
All right.
International waters, motherfucker.
We might be running out of steam on Time Heist here.
Yeah.
The preview for next time was good.
Yeah. It looks like it's a nice change of pace. Again, because these past 2 episodes have been pretty serious. So it's nice to, have another lighthearted episode like Robots of Sherwood.
And it's written by Gareth Roberts, who did The Lodger and The Lodger Part 2, whatever that one's called, Closing Time, I think.
Yeah, Closing Time.
Which are great episodes.
Yeah, they are.
And always up for more of that.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see how he will handle the 12th Doctor and how Peter Capaldi will deal with that. Yeah.
I think it'll be great.
Me too.
Yeah, next week is the halfway point of the season, 6 out of 12. And that's awesome.
It's been a really good season so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling you about this earlier, Sean, but my little brother who watches Doctor Who but had been behind a little bit, he finally started watching the season last night and felt the same thing we did of just crushing disappointment, a deep breath.
Yeah.
But I was able to tell him, it's okay, I'm not angry about the episode anymore because it all gets better.
Yeah.
It gets better, immediately.
And then I told you then, Jonathan, Doctor Who is a show that is made episode by episode. It's not this serial bullshit. If an episode is bad, it's bad in and of itself, and its awfulness does not taint anything else.
But here's the thing. I do want to praise something about this season so far. And we mentioned it earlier, but you're absolutely right. The episode by episode is what makes it work. But I think another reason why the episode by episode nature of this season has worked is it does feel like there's a unified creative goal in mind.
Sure, yeah.
And so we have these individual stories that have been really good, and that's been really refreshing because this feels like what they wanted to do with Series 7.
Yeah, but
Stan
just
didn't do.
So fucked it up by having almost more overarching plot than anything with having to do with Amy and Rory and then the impossible girl shit.
Yeah. So we're getting kind of the best of both worlds here, where we're having a string of really great, solid individual episodes, but I feel like it's moving the characters forward, it's moving the kind of the, arc of the show forward in great ways where, as I said before, it's the puzzle piece kind of thing, where I feel like everything gets richer each week and there is something cumulative to it. While at the same time, having this individual step-by-step mentality.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's how Series 5 worked in a lot of ways, too, which was the previous, best season of Modern Who.
Yeah.
It's just that one had even, more overarching story, obviously, and they're doing this with even less, and that's working. And it's been, 2 weeks since we got a weird Missy thing.
Yeah, it's nice that, the past 2 episodes have not had any Missy Promised Land
Here's
bullshit.
how I knew the 2 people on the Heist team were not dead. They didn't go to the Promised Land.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So anyway.
God, that would... imagine how much worse this episode would be if after, that really dramatic scene where the shapeshifty lady kills herself because she doesn't want to get her brain melted, and it's she hits the thingy, and then it's just hello, welcome to heaven! Blah, blah. It's oh god.
Yeah.
Fucking kill me now.
Yeah.
But we've been free of that stuff for the time being.
And, it's been so good consistently so far this season. I'm even maybe when we actually get there, it could be good.
Yeah, fuck it.
Could totally be good. Because, that's the thing. Stephen Moffat has had a co-writing credit on nearly every episode so far, and he hasn't fucked anything up since Deep Breath. So, good work. Yeah. And good work to Stephen Thompson here, too, who definitely redeemed himself this week for the travesty that was the second half of Journey to the Center of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe the last 2/3 of that episode. Everything outside of the basic premise setup.
Yeah, basically the basic premise setup and the set design.
Yeah. Definitely. And that's another episode that got weirdly dark in such just strange ways.
Yeah.
We always have to make fun of the brothers who torture their other brother by making him think he's an android, which doesn't make sense.
For no reason other than for, giggles.
Yeah. They are probably the worst villains in all of Doctor Who, right? The most evil.
like the most sort of morally despicable? Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, the Daleks commit genocide on a regular basis, but at least I feel like they have some ideology that they're working for, even if I don't agree with it. It's not just fucking evil chaos.
Yeah. The Daleks are enemies you can respect man to man.
In a weird way. Yeah. Compared to those motherfuckers, sure, why not?
All right. I think we're done here.
Yeah.
That was Time Heist. It was good.
Yeah.
This was a short episode this week, but we will be back next week to talk about the 6th episode and other stuff, I assume.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
The end.
Yep.